The FARGO Workbench 3, brought to you by HID Global, is a first-in-class support application for FARGO branded card printers. This workbench has been completely redesigned to provide a superior interface for HID customers. Drawing on input from our internal and external partners, HID Global took an extensive look at how the previous version of Workbench was being utilized and made improvements in every facet of the product. The end result is a faster, stronger, more efficient diagnostic utility for facilitating printer maintenance. To begin, we can select a printer from the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner. When using the drop-down menu, you'll see printers that are offline and online as a default. We've added a filtering tool in which you can hide offline printers so that only online printers will now appear in the drop-down selection. You can also filter out any printers that you do not want to see. In this case, we're filtering that we only want to see HDP 5000 printers that are online. The toolbar across the top of the workbench provides quick and easy access to modules within the application. The first module enables users to control the inhibit panel of a YMCKI ribbon, commonly used within a FARGO HDP or high-definition printer, such as the FARGO HDP 8500. The secure imaging module provides users with a simple method to utilize the fluorescing panel on a FARGO HDP or DTC card printer. The fluorescing panel is a simple and cost-effective method for building a first level of visual security to an ID card. As the name suggests, any items that are printed with the fluorescing panel can be seen under a UV light. The encoding module of the workbench, in conjunction with the diagnostic cards provided with a FARGO printer encoder purchase, allow users to validate that the encoder is set up properly. If you would like to test cards other than the diagnostic cards provided, we suggest using the AssureID card personalization software. The printer information module offers users a single dashboard with real-time printer status and updates. Within this module, it's possible to see the card count, model of the printer, driver and firmware version, along with any other installed options. Users are also able to enable passwords. A new addition to the FARGO Workbench is the ability to now view the driver properties. Once in here, it's also possible to make any settings changes to the driver. The ability to take a snapshot of your printer is now capable with the export printer information. Users can also initiate routine maintenance such as cleaning a printer from within the workbench. Determining what the status level of your supplies is also readily available, along with the order number if you were to run out of ribbon or film for a card printer. Running mechanical and self-tests are also available within the Printer Information tab. And remote display. So if I want to see what my printer looks like remotely, I can do that. I can also click through the display remotely. You can see here that I'm using firmware version 4.15. Can check the status of sensors, as well as go into the advanced settings. This is also a new addition to the workbench. Now advanced settings can be changed, and the defaults can be restored. If you have any cards that were printed to file, or also known as a PRN, they can be sent to a printer or viewed here in the PRN Spooler and PRN Viewer module of the workbench. The Color Assist module was added to the workbench to allow users to match spot colors, helping to ensure accurate prints of graphics such as company logos. To begin using the Color Assist module, you'll need to enter in the color details for the color you're trying to match. This can be entered in the bottom right-hand corner in a variety of ways. One of which is by using the hex color value. The other is by using an eyedropper to select a color that's seen on the screen. Here we're selecting the green from one of the icons in the top toolbar. Once that's been selected, these values will then be inputted into the bottom right-hand corner. The next step is to print this swatch card. The card will output looking similar to this right here with the variety of colors shown. the middle of which being the color that you're trying to match. However, once this card is outputted, another color may actually look more like the proof color that you have in your physical possession. So you would click on this color. The values will then go ahead and change in the bottom right hand corner to the color that you're trying to match. From there, if you wanted to change the sensitivity or the number of swatches on the card, you could then change this, reprint the card, and select another color such that those values will then change in the bottom right hand corner. Suggested then to go ahead and add that swatch into your palette. This can then be saved. If you're not sure what color you're trying to match and you just like to see a selection of swatches, you can change the saturation and luminosity and then go ahead and generate a full palette of colors. This palette can then be saved for future reference. Again, the Color Assist module is a new addition to the FARGO Workbench and was added specifically to help assist in the color matching of spot colors. By clicking on the Home tab at the top of the FARGO Workbench, you're able to then navigate to the Card Samples module within the Workbench, which has also been greatly enhanced. Users can now select an image, place that on the front or the back of the card, and now select a different image and place that on the back of the card. Here we're going to go ahead and select the barcode image, which is oftentimes used for testing resin. At the top of the toolbar, you'll notice that you have the options to add text, make sure things show up in resin, change the font style, add a barcode, or add a sample image that will be printed with the fluorescing panel of the print ribbon. Finally, select the number of copies and print the sample card. In order to print the sample card with magnetic information, click on the Magnetic Encoding tab, generate some sample data, and then go ahead and print the card. Once the card has been printed properly and you're happy with the sample image, you can then save the sample card and use that at a later date. Next, we're going to click on the Home tab, then onto the Update Manager module to see how a FARGO printer's firmware and/or driver can be updated. The Update Manager allows for automatic notifications of updates. Here, you can ask for the Workbench to check this update when starting up. You can also ask the Workbench to download these updates automatically without ever having to come into the Workbench. Again, the Workbench can check for firmware, driver, or software updates. For this example, we're going to go ahead and check for updates now. And it's going to show us that our HTP 5000 firmware is currently out of date. So I'm going to go ahead and click Download. The Workbench will then reach out to the update server to download the appropriate firmware. As the firmware is being downloaded, let's just take a look at how we can send this information down to the printer. From this window here on the left side of the Workbench, you can see that we can send updates to all of the printer models that are currently available to me in a single mass update, or I can select one individual printer, such as the HTP 5000 shown here. I would then go down to the bottom right hand corner and click Begin Update. From there, it'll take me to a status window to show that the update is being completed. If I don't have any internet connectivity, I can go back to the Update Printer Firmware section and I can send down a firmware update by file or manually. Workbench 3, a powerful yet intuitive tool now enabling users to harness the full capabilities of their FARGO card printers.